right down into the first part of your issue, that there has been expropriation. Expropriation is when the government, that you are a foreign investor, unlawfully seizes or prevents you from realizing the full extent of your investment.
That's right.
Now, in this transaction, there has not been any one single involvement of the government of Ghana until the foreigners, for lack of a better word, voluntarily wrote to the minister and asked him to mediate. And so
this is what happened?
Yes, they wrote.
Okay.
Now, it's sad when the...
First of all, it's the company that invited E&P to come and acquire the asset.
Yes.
And second, you are saying when the minister made the intervention, it was they who brought in the minister.
Who wrote the minister?
Okay, go ahead.
The only time that E&P wrote to the ministry was to get a no objection letter. I think late last year or early this year, and we went through all the processes, and then it was issued in March 2025.
You're explaining why there's no government involvement until when Azumah Resources got
Australia
brought the minister in. Okay.
So to that extent. Now, the point which ties into that I really want to make is that it's quite unfair that this transaction having been started in 2022, highlighted in 2023, agreements signed in 2024. Whatever has happened to those agreements, I'm not going to talk about it, but I'm saying that to say that this transaction is being consummated because of political interference is quite unfair. You see, it is unfair because it undermines the very efforts that everybody has put in right from the beginning, as if you just came up and from 8th January 2025, which is when His Excellency John Mahama became president, then E&P decided to say, we want this asset, so let's go and take it. It's really unfair. When you do that, it is not only E&P that you are attacking, because the so-called allegation you are saying international investment is, the international climate, investment climate, people are talking about it. It is not only Mr. Dramani Mahama or E&P that they are talking about. They are talking about the whole Ghana. Now, if you go to E&P or if you go to where the miners, the people there are not only aligned to any one political party. You cannot say that E&P workers all vote for a certain political party, or where the miners, they belong to one political party. This is a Ghanaian matter. This transaction, like I keep saying, was started in 2022. Agreements fully negotiated and signed in 2023. Things went on up to 2024. So you cannot say that only maybe from 8th January, all of a sudden E&P woke up and decided that we want this mine. So we just walked in and said we are taking it by force. That is most unfair. It undermines the efforts that all parties involved have put in to bring it to this light. Now, Samson, I will be slow to respond to the essence of your question for one reason. He indicated that as we speak, there are serious attempts to bring closure to all of these misunderstandings. And as between today, tomorrow, the next day, is very crucial. Now, I will not, with respect, want to inflame, for lack of a better word, passions.
So that's a fact.
That's a fact.
That there are serious negotiations ongoing as we speak.
As we speak.
To bring a closure.
I'm supposed to leave immediately and finish to finalize the discussions. As you are aware, the stakeholders involved are in different jurisdictions, Singapore, Australia, and the timelines are not aligned. Australia, for example, is 8 hours.
Yeah.
So we've been working in the past 72 hours over time to be able to finish this. And I have to be part, but because of these issues and the promise that we had, I didn't want it to be repeated. I just wanted to come and clear these two things. That it is not true that monies have been paid into an account unlawfully and are being kept to achieve a certain purpose. Secondly, it is not true, never the case, that this transaction has come about because of political interference. It has never been the case. They approached E&P in 2022. At that time, Mr. Ibrahim Mohammed's brother was not president. He was in opposition. If they were looking for political help, they would not have gone to him. Agreement was negotiated and signed in 2023. Parties started implementing their various parts of the agreement in 2024, and dispute arose. Dispute arose in 2024. Now, whatever steps have been taken by E&P subsequently, they are subject matters that will be consummated in the course of these negotiations. And so I would not want to go into this person did this. As you know, when you are in negotiations, sometimes the tone, the discussion, that is why I'm restrained, because whatever Mr. Simon says here cannot be held against the people who we are negotiating with. Because obviously, he has not said he is here in the capacity as their representative. But whatever I say here, I'm the same person that in the next 30 minutes, I'm expected to go and sit at the table. And I'm sure they are watching, or he will let them know that, oh, Bobby even said you have done this, you have done that.
Sorry. When you say they are watching, or he will let them know.
And that is what I'm saying, because he's definitely in communication with them. Let me tell you why. Samson, the International Chamber of Commerce.
Do you think what you are doing now is fair?
To which one?
What you're doing, attempting to do to Bright is fair.
Oh, what did I do? I'm saying he's in communication with them.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you why. And if I'm lying, he can say it. And
of course, he has said he's received documentation and all of that.
No, and I'm saying the source of the documentation lets me know that he's in communication with them. And let me tell you why. The International Chamber of Commerce, maybe he does not know, but you will know. The International Chamber of Commerce, where we were having the arbitration, the ICC, has a portal that only parties and lawyers, I think to a large extent lawyers, would have access to that portal. So if I sue Samson, I commence arbitration against Samson Ladi at the ICC opens a portal that you would have the code, I would have the code. The notice to withdraw was uploaded on that portal, the exclusive portal that only lawyers have access to. On Friday was 4th or 5th September at 10 p.m. Less than 3 hours later, which is the Saturday, 6th September at 12, what time was the post? 12:57 a.m. Less than 3 hours, Mr. Simmons has posted that notice on his Twitter account. This document was not sent by email for you to say that somebody received it by email.
It tells me, if I look at him from the perspective from which we have dealt with him over the years, that he does his job well. He knows how to get his job done well.
But that is what I'm saying, that as we sit here, I'm not saying this disrespectfully, but as a fact, you and I, because of our profession, we have ethical boundaries. There are privileged information that when a lawyer comes by in the course of discussions, negotiations, cases, you cannot sit and go to media with it.
Correct.
Otherwise, when I leave here, General Legal Counsel would ask me, you are bound by certain regulations. I cannot justify it. With all due respect, Mr. Simmons doesn't have that. I cannot say that he belongs to an organization, a professional body that will regulate some of these. So, for example, I could not have, per the confidentiality agreements under the ICC rules, I could not have shared that notice of withdrawal with you.
Correct.
But he can share on his X page because he has no ethical boundary in that context.
Right.
And the lawyers at that stage, at that level, cannot post it on their X because that would be obviously in breach. That is why I'm saying that I have avoided this for only this reason. And I'm trying very hard to still remain.
Before I let Bright come in, what you admit as a fact that he has disclosed also tells a different story. That as we speak, there are ongoing negotiations to try and bring matters to a close.
Yes.
But the announcement by E&P in the course of the week was that you had completed acquisition and you had completely taken over.
Do you have the E&P statement? The E&P statement was very categorical. E&P has acquired all the equity shares.
All equity shares?
Yes.
That's correct.
That was what E&P said.
Right.
E&P said they have acquired all the equity shares. Very clear. And it even stated from the beneficial owner, and having acquired that, with the prior approval, the letter of no objection from the Minerals Commission, and has completed the registration of the share transfer at the Registry of Companies. The statement from E&P contained these elements.
Explain to us What does it mean from the beneficial owner?
Yeah, I'm going to explain. Yeah. Something, every corporate entity, most likely, maybe not in all situations, but most likely would have two interest owners. And I'm making this general because you've asked, not again, I'm restricted.
Just education.
Just education. I don't want to go into...
The communication said beneficial owner.
Yes.
And not every member of the public will appreciate what it means to say beneficial owner. They may not even pay attention to that.
Okay. Now, so I'll make notes and explain what beneficial owner, but because you said the negotiations, every entity, most likely than not, it may not be the case for everyone, would have two stakeholders. From a basic, I'm using the language not to sound too legalistic.
This company law.
Company law.
Yeah.
Stakeholders may be in the form of equity owners and creditors of the company. Now, equity owners are the ones who would own the issued shares of the company. The creditors are not owners of issued shares of the company unless they have an agreement for preference share arrangement or they have debentures that restricts the transfer of shares under certain circumstances. Now, E&P in the statement indicated that they will now proceed to deal with the creditors. It was in the statement. And so if I say that there are negotiations, I am not going outside the ambit of the statement.
It is a continuing process.
Exactly, because E&P made it very clear that now we have completed all the equity acquisition. We have completed that registration at the Registrar General's Department.
To deal with the creditors.
It was in the statement.
Okay.
So if I say there are negotiations without disclosing the extent of that negotiation, I have not gone outside or betrayed the essence of the statement by E&P. Now you've asked the question, who is a beneficial owner? Now a beneficial owner, you would have access to the Companies Act.
Yes,
if we can, so that it is not as if I'm the one saying what's something that is not.
I have my legal resource, but you go ahead and just briefly tell us. Yeah.
No, I just want to read because I like the definition in the Companies Act. If you can help us with that, or if Mr. Simmons has access to it, I'm trying to see. Yes, I think I'll have it somewhere in my. Didn't bring.
All right. So this is News File, Joy 99.7 FM, and this is your Joy News TV. Joy News channel, and we are trying to canvass the discussion. I just opened the Companies Act.
Okay, so you see the definition of beneficial owner.
Right. So the matter that the Azumah Resources is threatening international, taking it to the International Court of Arbitration and threatening that Ghana stands and risk over $1 billion US because of what they are seeking to do. That's actually what brings in the extreme national or public interest, for which when we look around, we can't see any civil society group that appear to have the capacity to help with the discussion than Bright Simmons. And that's why we call it.
Yes, have you found a beneficial owner?
I've just opened my
okay, so you can look for it for me. But I can just generally, again, for discussions without necessarily narrowing down to the facts of the present matter, which I've said for ethical reasons, we'll not go into the details.
Okay.
If you say, and this is from international investment, international law perspective.
Okay.
If you say that you would want to take a country on in the context of expropriation, you cannot say it. It's not as if you are walking into the court, a court to sue.
Right.
You must first demonstrate that you have a bilateral investment treaty between the country of the investor, as disclosed to the home country, the host state, as it's called, and the host state. And so if that talk comes out, you'd have to ask yourself these questions before you'll be able to narrow down. Now, the beneficial owner, if you find it, so that it comes from your gadget, we read it, and then we all have an understanding of it for general purposes.
I just wanted you to proceed with your explanation, if that mattered.
Yes, it mattered. Because if you pick up company incorporation forms today, there are international conventions that Ghana is a signatory to. That from 2018, which when the law was passed, the New Companies Act was passed in 2019, required that when you are filling in forms and submitting forms for registration at the company registry, you must disclose beyond who the shareholder is on the face of the incorporation document. You must disclose who the beneficial owner is. Now, the beneficial owner, often called the ultimate beneficial owner,
right,
is the final interest holder of the asset or of the company. And so every other person, as defined in the Act, would be acting at the instruction or at the direction of this ultimate beneficial owner or this beneficial owner.
Right.
A beneficial owner is not a trustee. A beneficial owner, per the law, is not holding the shares or is not an owner of the shares in trust for any person.
Okay.
And so if something, you register, maybe you incorporate a company, and then you put your name as the shareholder, but you actually are acting on the instructions, or maybe you intend that whatever benefits come from the shares, the final decision maker in respect of this organization would be me.
Right.
Your name would appear as the shareholder, but my name would appear as the ultimate beneficial owner or the beneficial owner. What the law defines it to be is that you will be acting at my instructions or in my interest.
Right.
That is what the law says.
Right.
And so if you incorporate a company and then you fill out names of maybe Bobby Banson as the shareholder and then Samson Ladi as the beneficial owner, you, Samson Ladi, you have a lot of legal obligations,
right,
either rights or liabilities.
Yeah.
And so it is not merely writing it there as it were.
So let me go to right now. So when he
I
said,
thought you were going to look